Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sorry I have been MIA for a while. I had a cold for like 3 weeks. It just refused to go away. And then I found out we were pregnant with baby number 4. And then I was absolutely exhausted. And then I got round 2 of another cold. We've been out of town. There's just been a lot going on. So I have been MIA and I'm sorry about that. But I'm back today with a video that's a little bit different than what I normally do. This one is a little haul of some of my favorite companies that I like to work with. I have the new Distress Oxide ink from Tim Holtz. We're going to ink swatch that and kind of go over some of the products that I purchased that I've been eyeballing. A lot of the ones that I purchased are geared toward Christmas. I'm going to make some Christmas cards in future videos with that, but we're going to go ahead and jump right into ink swatching. This, like I said, is the new Distress Oxide color from Tim Holtz. It's called Lumberjack Plaid. And I went ahead and printed and cut out the swatches that I like to use. And I have this stamp set from Waffle Flower Crafts. And that's what I use to swatch out my inks. The printout that I use for my ink swatches is actually from Jennifer McGuire. You can go to Jennifer McGuire ink.com, and she has a free download of all of the companies of all of their inks. And so I just went ahead and used that, cut it out, and we're going to go ahead and ink swatch that. This is a very wonderful, like, Christmas red. It's very similar to Festive Berries. So if you have that one and budget doesn't really allow for all of the things, if you have Festive Berries, you're okay. This is just a little bit deeper, in my opinion, with how I've swatched all mine out. It's a little deeper, but it's very, very close to Festive Berries. And so, like I said, I know sometimes like companies will come out with colors and they are just so similar to one another that you're sitting there and you're kind of like, do I really need to buy all of the things? So like I said, if you have Festive Berries, you're okay. So what I'm doing here is I like to put a stamped like swatch on the side of the ink pad so that if I'm trying to like go by a particular color scheme, I don't have to like play guessing games and like ink roulette to figure out what ink matches what color scheme I'm trying to go for. So I just swatch this out and I'm going to trim it out. It's about 3/8 of an inch. The side of the Distress Oxide ink pads, they're about 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to end up cutting this out to about 3/8 of an inch. And then you can see it in that corner off to the side of this glass mat here. It is a label that I made with my brother label maker. And all I did was cut that out of, print it in black on clear so that I can see the color. And I leave the margins longer. I know that kind of wastes your label material, but this way I don't have to add like packing tape or something over it. You could absolutely do that, and just, if you actually have decent handwriting, which I do not, you could always color and permanent Sharpie over the label, over like packing tape, and then just trim out the packing tape, like the clear packing tape around it. But I have a label maker, so that's what I use. So here I'm just kind of double checking the size. It's fine. We're good to go. So I'm going to just finish trimming that out, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach that. So there it is, all attached to the side of my ink pad. And then I have my little ink swatch that I will put in a binder that I have that has all of my inks in there. Let's talk about this glass mat. So I had the Tim Holtz glass mat before, and it was black. There was a little section off to the right that was white. and I liked it. However, I prefer white just because I can see true colors easier. And I also wanted something that was magnetic. And the Tim Holtz glass mat was not. This one is 12 by 15, and it is obviously white, and I have the little pawn chest magnets. This glass mat is from glassboardstudio.com, and I purchased this using a coupon code from Kelly Ladavola Taylor. She received a coupon code from Glassboard Studio, and I used that to purchase this glass board. I wish I would have gotten a bigger size, but that's on me. That's nothing to do with fault of the board itself. You can customize these, and you can actually put like flowers and your own arrangements in the corners. And they also come in a teal color, but like I said, I wanted white. So let's kind of go into my little mini crafty haul. I plan on making some, like I said, Christmas cards, and I would really like to add some gold, some foiled accents. So this is the glimmer foil. This is not toner foil. This is glimmer foil. And it's like a matte silver, a matte gold, like a champagne color, and a copper. And they are gorgeous. What I do is I end up cutting these down into 6-inch long sheets and storing them in a envelope stamp pocket. I plan on using the positively saturated inks a lot. I think they're going to become like a big staple in my craft room. And I have the full-size ink pads, so I wanted to make sure that I had the reinkers for those. I have a limited amount of space, so I only have reinkers for this, a lot of my black inks, clear embossing inks, and then my distress oxides. Those are the only ones that I have reinkers for because, like I said, I have a very limited amount of space. So I'm pretty choosy on what reinkers I spend my money on. So I mentioned before at the beginning of the video, I was going to go over a crafty haul that I have from 3 of my favorite companies. Altenew is one of my favorite companies. This is their pristine peonies, I think is what it's called. I'm trying to read it and I'm like half blind here. So I have the stamp set, which has a lot of like beautiful one line, some of them are several lines, but one line sentiment strips and sentiments. And I really like the font. It's very simple. It's very easy to read. And then these big, beautiful florals. I purchased the combination set, which came with the stencils. I believe there are 6 stencils here. And a lot of companies are starting to do this, and it's very, very helpful. And I guess this Altenew, this particular stamp set doesn't do it, but what I like about Altenews is that they come with a colored image, and then they tell you what colors they used. So if you really like what you're seeing as far as on the packaging, you can copy it. They have some etching lines to kind of show you, okay, this is not part of this particular floral. This is a different section of the floral, to kind of help you understand how better to stencil that in. So this is the coloring stencil, and then I also purchased the dies. I do not enjoy fussy cutting. That is not my thing. I don't like it, and I'm not very good at it. And so anytime I can, and I can afford it, I try to buy the coordinating dies. I do have a Brother Scan and Cut, and I do use that often, but for something like this, where more than likely I would be using several colors or I would be heat embossing, my Brother Scan and Cut doesn't necessarily do very well with that. So I like the option of having the coordinating dies. This is another set from Altenew. This is their mistletoe wreath, I believe is what it's called. And I didn't show you the insert on the last one, but Altenew always comes with an insert that gives you some card front ideas, but it also gives you, like I said, some options on how to color things in. And I really appreciate that because I struggle with picking colors. I kind of get into a rut where all of my color palettes look exactly the same, and that gets kind of boring. So again, I purchased the coordinating dies and the coordinating stencils. This set has 4 stencils in it to help you color in this image. And this one is the one that has etching on it. So a lot of stamp companies are starting to do that now. So it has etch lines in there to help you line up the previous stencil with the next stencil. So if you go in order of their stencils, they'll line up so that you can more easily align your image so that it lines up easier. I don't know how best to say that, but I'm excited to make some Christmas cards with this particular set. I think they'll be easy, and I enjoy that. Another one of my favorite companies is Pink Fresh. They are actually out of Texas, so woohoo! This one, I think it's called Ornaments. That whole grouping of ornaments is one big stamp, and then there's several greetings. This one comes with a coordinating foil plate, which is fantastic since I purchased all of this foil that I'm pretty pumped to use. And like I said, I want to make Christmas cards with this particular set. It comes with not only the foil plates, but I also purchased the dies. Now the dies come with 3 sentiment dies that will cut out kind of those scripty bigger fonts, those bigger sentiments. And I'm pretty excited about that because I just think that this will make for very easy, quick to pull together Christmas cards. And I am toying with the idea of making Christmas cards for one of the nursing homes in our neighborhood, in our area. And when you're making like 90-something Christmas cards for these folks, like you need them to kind of come together quickly. So I also purchased the coloring stencils for this, and there's 3 of them. Pink Fresh comes with like a colored, I'm showing it right here, it's these blue, so it shows you kind of what stencil is going to color what particular color, what shade. And I've seen people do this in like rainbows. I've seen them do them in, traditional reds and greens and golds. I've seen people do them in more of like a pastel or a, non-traditional color palette. It's just very, very versatile. And the fact that that die would cut out all of those ornaments at once is fantastic. Pink Fresh does that a lot with their stamp sets. And that is very handy and a huge time saver, and I'm all for that. This is not necessarily a Christmas set, but I've seen Jennifer McGuire do a video with this. It's called Stained Glass, I think. And I purchased the foil plate and the die. Now the die will cut out the foiled section. So if you wanted to have, if you ran out of gold foil cardstock, you can foil this with the foil plate out of gold and then cut it out. So it's very versatile. And here I'm showing that if you kind of lay them staggered, you get a completely different look that's still very, very beautiful. You can inlay this. You can cut it out of different colors of cardstock and inlay it. You can ink blend it. I think I saw Laura Basson. I think she ink blended this, and it was beautiful. I loved it. The final stamp set that I purchased was from Simon Says Stamp. This is, I believe, illustrated by Christina Werner, and I have been needing some snowflake stamp sets, and I saw this, and I saw Christina Werner and Joy. Her channel is Create with Joy here on YouTube, and I can't remember her name, but her YouTube channel is Handmade Not Hallmark, and they just used this in such a simple, elegant way, and it was stunning and I loved it. And I plan on making, like I said, more Christmas cards with this also. That tree, that snowflake tree is beautiful. The snowflake circle is beautiful. You could do so many things with this. And then there are just individual snowflakes also, which I'm a big fan of. I just find snowflakes to be very versatile, not only for Christmas, but you can use them for just winter. Like if you have a friend that has a winter birthday or a winter anniversary or whatnot, like this would be a good, snowflakes are just a good general thing, I feel like. I also purchased the coordinating dies. Now that triangle and the circle, I could manage that with a paper trimmer or a circle die, but I am not, I am not about to fussy cut those snowflakes. Not here for that. Don't sign me up. 1 star, do not recommend. I don't like it. So I did make sure that I purchased the coordinating dies. And these women did such a fantastic job of like making the snowflakes the star of the show and having them stand out and be so simple yet so elegant and beautiful. And I loved it and I was really inspired by that. And I will, like I said, be making some videos with that. Now, I forgot to mention, when I purchased this stamp set from Altenew, it came with a blending brush, and I don't have any of these blending brushes. I have never tried any of them, but this one feels good in the hand. It's a good size. The bristles are really soft, and I will probably be using that in the future. Now, when I purchased all of my supplies that you just saw, they had like a special with Halloween and you got like a special goodie bag. And when I pulled it out of the box, it shook and I was like, oh, did they just give me a bunch of candy? Like I want like crafty goodies. I don't want candy. And then I saw that what it was. These are little candy confections by Tim Holtz. And then this is Distress Icicle Crackle Glaze. And I have seen several people use the crackle paste in videos, and now I'm excited I get to try it. Well, that's all for me. Again, sorry I was gone so long, but I hope to get back into the groove of making videos and reaching out to you. Hope you all have a great day. We will catch you next time.